Hey, look, check this out, right? This Mr. Dews, I want to have a conversation with you all. Real brief, real short conversation. I intend to do this regularly, so I appreciate if you log in, check me out, comment, respond. I just want to share some thoughts that I have, and you may find them entertaining. Hopefully you'll laugh at some of the things that I have to share, but always I hope you consider what I'm saying and take it to heart. So look, check this out. I want to be extremely transparent and share a conversation that my wife and I, we regularly have. So the conversation started this morning. Well, I should say it continued this morning. We were talking about what we lead with, right? All of us have attributes that we lead with. When you enter a room, what is it that you present that people are magnetized by or people gravitate towards, right? So in my wife's case, it's her smile and her dimples, right? She has a beautiful smile, dimples, right? And she said that's what she leads with regularly, her beautiful smile. And I concur, she has a beautiful smile. I never had dimples, right? I'm one of those kids who, when I was born, my mother tried to do an imprint on the side of my cheeks to give me dimples. I never had dimples. Matter of fact, I wear a beard right now, besides the fact that my wife likes it and finds it attractive. It's to cover up the chubby cheeks that I have, you know, so the beard thing never worked for me. I've never been a dime, right? My wife and I, we laugh about that. So it was never my physical draw. You know what I mean? I'm not a dime, but I ain't, you know, I'm all right, right? But it was never my physical draw. And when I growing up in the 80s, bow legs used to be real attractive to women for some reason, right? I never had those. Though I tried to throw my hips out of alignment on several different occasions, walking around like but it never worked for me. Plus, it was painful on my joints. That was never it. I never had the light green eyes, the light colored eyes, you know, growing up in the 80s. Those of you who may be a little younger, y'all might not realize this, but that was a thing, right? I never had those. I squinted my eyes a lot because, you know, I thought, you know, the chinky eyes was cool at one time. Don't cancel culture me. You know what I mean? Just for being transparent and calling things what they were referred to at one time. But I do that. And if you look at many of my pictures to this day, I'm walking around with that, trying to use that as a drawer. But that never been it for me. But in all seriousness, for me, it was my engagement with people, right? Being able to talk, being well-versed and knowledgeable of different things, and just being able to engage people. And oftentimes I use humor as a tool to engage. As a teacher, you all that know me know I'm an educator. I've been an educator for the past 24 years, right? Urban educator. But I'm a teacher, and I share with my wife, I get paid right now, and I'm compensated for being a middle school math teacher in DC charter school system. But I'm a teacher, and the world is my classroom. That's how I view it. And in it, I'm both teacher and student. With that being said, I engage and teach different things. So hopefully I'll share something that's receptive. So again, never had those physical attributes. None of those things worked for me. But I was always able to engage people and used humor as a defense mechanism because I had something to share. And most times people who don't know you or people that know you, at times they're defensive, right? So I need to break down the walls of defense so I can open you up and you be receptive to what it is that I have to offer. And I always use humor as that tool. I'm a conversationist. I'm one who loves to engage. I'm one who loves to impart knowledge, share things from my personal experience. I ask you, what do you lead with, right? What are you leading with? Oftentimes I teach, as you all know, I watch young ladies lead with what they think is their greatest physical attribute, right? And it may not even be who they are. They may have much more to offer. You may have much more to offer, but they lead backwards, in many cases. And people respond to them in that way, right? Sometimes our young men, they got to lead with their bravado. Who's the toughest, right? Who's willing to be the craziest? Who's willing to pull something out or be violent towards, right? Other brothers. But that may not, and I pray that that's not all that they have to offer. That's not their only attribute that they have to give, but that's what we respond to. So that's what they work with, right? So as I shared with my wife this morning, I said, if you're not leading with your best attribute, right, which I believe God blessed us all with, and if he blessed us with it, it's to do some good with it. If you're not leading with that, then instead you're misleading people because you're leading with the wrong thing, right? So I just challenge you all to identify what that attribute is, how you want to be received, be thankful for where the gift come from, and start to lead accordingly so people will respond to you accordingly. I think it's extremely important. I thank you for taking a few minutes of your time just to sit with me and just to hear me. Hopefully you laughed. But in addition to the laughter, I hope you heard something positive that I said and something applicable that I said. Find your greatest attribute, the healthiest attribute that you have, and begin to lead with it. And before I close out, though my wife says she leads with her smile, which she has a beautiful smile, she has a lot more to offer, and that's what I'm extremely grateful for. So with that being said, I'm Mr. Dews. The world is my classroom, and in it, I'm both student and teacher. Thank you for taking the time just to laugh with me. Peace.